really have to do it all the time. Like you could be like, oh, let me check in on my
You
parts.
don't have to listen. Yeah, you don't have to listen every week. You can just listen to the games you want to listen to. It's lined up so you can find them. Like, yeah, it's not hard. And are we live already, Mel?
I think we are.
Excellent,
yeah, it looks
excellent.
like it.
Yeah, so and that's also the dynamic of just all hosts in general and everybody working in parts, and everyone has their pluses and minuses. That's just how it goes, and I say that fully looking at myself in the mirror, like
and yeah, to be fair, like I brought very little to the table other than the smooth pipes. Like I was an idea guy, I was very much hands off on like the editings and the things of that nature. So I've got no place to like, you know, really say anything.
Right.
But yeah, nah, it just got a little monotonous. And like I said, I work longer days than I used to. I'm not an outside cat. I'm an inside cat these days. So like I'm not playing as much golf and shaking hands and kissing babies. It's more, hammering out.
got you.
It's more hammering out quotes and like getting shit done. I'm on the road a lot more. So yeah, it just kind of reclaimed some time. That's the big thing.
Yeah. That's perfectly fair. It makes complete fucking sense. It's there are very different worlds of what you do in sales. Like you said, there are the out on the roads playing golf, shaking hands, kissing babies, and then there are the this is the contract, let's sign it and make sure you fucking pay us. There's there's a lot of intricacies to both, and it's knowing frankly what your best at is what, like, I mean, that's the whole point of my business, of what I did with what I've started is I'm an on the road guy. We're good.
You are good.
Hey, internet, how you doing? That's what I do. Right.
Yeah.
I am in the bar talking to bartenders, spending money, doing the brand message thing. That's what I do very, very well. Put me in front of my computer and make me have to work with Excel. And I want to throw my computer against the wall and roll up in the corner and cry.
Yeah. No, this was definitely an adjustment because I'm very much the outside guy. Like I've always been that. But from having like moved around a little bit, I've gained a unique set of experience and like knowledge in my industry. So I was pretty valuable to the company that I joined because we make a living basically ripping competitors' stuff off of walls. And so that's basically what I have made my career doing. So it was a nice little fit, but it puts me, I'm not on the road playing golf and like having lunches. I'm on the road walking buildings and like coming up with I'm the puzzle guy. Like I'm not you don't hand me like a set of construction drawings and say, hey, give me that order, like count these dots and give me that amount of the X. Like I don't do that. I walk into an existing building and I'm like, okay, we've got to add all of this shit. We've got to rip this shit out. We've got to move all of this shit. Like I'm that guy. So yeah, it's a little bit different.
Yep.
But it's, hey, they pay me handsomely and I do kind of just
I was gonna say, does Daddy get paid?
Yeah, they take care of me. I don't do this for any other reason, quite frankly. So, yeah, no, yeah,
No,
it's
we do
nice.
this for money. This is why we work. We work for money. It's not. No, we work to afford the things we want to do in life. That is why we work.
We work to go.
Alrighty. Well, then let's.
Go ahead.
We ready to do show, producer Mel?
I'm trying.
Okay. Real quick here. Alan, just let me know if you hear this in your headphones.
This is Ray, Manchester United supporter.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure we can hear people's shit.
JB McConville, aka J Business. I don't have any allegiance. I'm just working for the money. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
I didn't think I was going to have to do 2 wellness checks a row in 2 weeks. Last week, Danny. This week, a losing Tyne-Wear Magpie. Alan, you doing okay over there, buddy?
No.
No.
No,
It's
not at all.
10 in a fucking row.
Shows like the Black Widow.
Let's start the show.
Yeah.
To be a fan of fucking never end. Look you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston. Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. The snow of the Lord. The straight in shorts. Sam Grammy. Sam Graham.
Like it.
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League is told by two common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Houston, away on assignment still, Mr. Graham. So we are being visited by my good friend, a brother from another, a fellow man of the drip, the smoothest pipes in the motherfucking business. 1/3 of the middle class holes, and of course, everyone's favorite Mobtown Magpie, my good buddy Alan. How you doing, good sir?
I'm okay, I guess. I mean, I'm good, like personally, but like dying on the inside spiritually.
Yeah, it was kind of tough, huh? Wasn't it? Not your weekend, no so good.
Not great.
And of course, on the ones and twos, producer Mel. Producer Mel, how we doing over there?
I mean, apparently we're fucking up the title hunt.
Yeah, no shit. You guys are on a roll right now. You know, it's nice to see you finally scoring goals like you've been for the first 5 games of the season.
Watkins, he just put his head to it.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get podcasts. And of course, streaming live every single Monday night. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Alan, can you tell the good people how they get in touch?
It's like at DU Football Show on Instagram or whatever.
Yep, all the socials.
What DU Football Show at Gmail? Is it gmail.com? Is that the thing? Is that your
exactly?
Woo, it's been a while, man. I have not done this in a minute, and that I did not prepare for. Just diving in here. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it, honestly, at DU Football Show and dufootballshow at gmail.com.
I've got nothing but faith in you, my brother, and that's the reason why I throw it to you like that. You know?
Sure, Billy says, just make him do the shot and let's move on.
He's not in studio, so he will not be doing a shot.
I am not. I'll tell when Kelly comes out, I'll tell her to find me a shot of the worst thing I have in here and see. It won't be that. It won't be as bad, but at least you can watch me do it. Yeah.
Lakeside FC, a Chicago semi-pro club that is, of course, sponsored by
naturally.
Yeah, the little Malort there. It's mad elegant to throw back to an old TikTok throwback.
Mad elegant. Wow.
Fucking.
Holy
shit. Spirit industry, but Alan is a fellow gentleman of sales. And I have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So, as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've had a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Alan, I know you've stepped away from the beer a little and have gone more the route of the spirited variety. Are you got anything in that cup tonight? What are you enjoying?
I do not tonight because I'm just hanging out, chilling, and I got a little work to do after this. So I'm trying to keep my wits about me. So what is in here is actually a very vintage 2025 Mountain Dew Baja Blast Lemon Lime edition. Yeah, if you haven't had that, it's like Baja Blast if it had sex with a Sprite, and it's delicious. Or a Starry with a Sierra Mist. I still call it Sierra Mist. I don't know if that's racist or not, but either way, you should try it one day if you're into that sort of thing. I just wanted something different today, and that's what it was.
On a roll. Don't slow them down. I am having from last year's top 20 list, which, by the way, we've gotten a good fair share of the bottles, and we'll be starting to enjoy those soon on shows. But today I am enjoying the Knob Creek Bourbon Times Rye. It's a blend of whiskey, so it's actually 50% bourbon, 50% rye, clocks in at 113 proof. This was in the back half of the top 20 for last year. I want to say it was like something like number 14 or 15, something like that. And it's all the sweetness you want from a bourbon with a backbone that's got a lot of that peppery spice and eucalypty mint thing going on. And poured myself a huge glass because Houston had himself a day today. Adulting isn't fun.
That's an
Fucking
insurance
sucks.
feeling.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
like the worst possible thing. You could be like, insurance. What did I do today? Insurance, taxes, fucking like plan a funeral, maybe put it up there. Like those are the top three, maybe, right? Just
It was
worst activities.
And it wasn't just one insurance, it was two motherfucking insurance. I would
two
like
different-
insurance in the morning and insurance in the evening, and just it was just fucking terrible. So Melissa, what should we always do when enjoying a lovely beverage?
Drink responsibly and legally.
Very good. Cheers, producer
And,
Mel.
you know what, Sam?
What?
People wanted to hear all about your insurance troubles. You know how they could do that?
How do they do that, producer
Well,
Mel?
first of all, they can scroll right on down. You see that? Just go right there and snag a hit on that DU Football Show / Patreon. No, Patreon / I don't know, patreon.com/DU Football Show. Link is freaking everywhere. It makes a great Christmas present for us.
Hey, Alan's a proud subscriber of our Patreon. He is a
Yeah, I think
order of the show. Yeah, you are.
It's-
You just went, I want to give my friends some money. I'm not going to listen at all, but I'm going to give you money.
I do from time to time when I
No.
remember to open Patreon. I'm like, yeah, look at that.
There it is.
Producer Mel would have quit long ago without all your support.
Yeah, very true. Very, very true. You're a good little whore. Well done.
Uh-huh.
Although I would say Sam Graham would probably have notes on that plug.
Well, you know what? He won't because he won't listen.
It's been almost 10 years
Fair.
since the Pram has seen a Tyne Ware Derby, and it delivered on everything that we've all been missing.
Did it?
And to the Magpies' dismay, the Black Cats are now 10 in a row unbeaten in this affair. Sunderland 1, Newcastle 0. It was a cagey match from the start. I think the desk for NBC, the whole crew said it very poignantly that this is, after the match was over, they were like, this is the advert. This is what the Premier League is. This is what a rivalry is. And you both sides, we'll kind of get into some of the stuff that happened in the first half. Both sides were ready for this, but it did feel like Sunderland somehow was the calmer presence, and you guys looked a little nervous, actually.
Yeah, I would. That's probably a fair assessment. I don't know if it was just nervous, but we did. It's what we've come out a couple matches flat this season. I don't know. We've been having these discussions internally of whether or not it's like it's fatigue because we are still in everything. We literally were just at Leverkusen, and he played basically that same team. Like, he didn't make any changes. Eddie's getting a little bit of flack for the moment because it seems like, at least from my opinion, there's a motivation issue maybe. That press is not as high and not as heavy as it normally is. I don't know if that's fatigue and or motivation. So yeah, a lot of questions there, but I would say that if you looked at, like, take stock of, I guess, the Newcastle reaction, it would be that we don't think that they were into it enough. But that's maybe it's been a long time. Like, it's been a long time since anyone's seen this. You know what I mean? There's a lot of new faces, new TV coverage that didn't exist when this last happened. So, like, I don't know, maybe that's part of it. Like, but it didn't feel as, I think to the neutral, it felt very much like this is awesome.
Yeah.
But to one of us, it was like, it felt like, you're right, they were a little bit more up for it than we were, but also that both of us were both like, we really don't want to lose this because it means so much. So yeah, I don't know. It was definitely a rough watch from my side. Obviously, I don't think. I mean,
well, some notable things for me right off the jump. There were two things. Each side's striker versus center back battles were brutal. Like Ballard and Big Dick Nick were fucking bumping. Brommy and Dan Burn were bumping, just beating up on each other to the point that Dan Burn left at halftime with broken fucking ribs
and a punctured lung.
Yeah, that is what was going on. Though that battle in the back with the strikers on both sides, they were just like, "Oh, you're going up for a ball? I'm just going to remind you I'm here.
Yeah.
I want you to know exactly where I am. And I'm going to be here every time." The amount of just knockover fouls where it was just literally the defender or the midfielder on the back of another guy goes, "Oh, you're going to turn my back on me? You're going to taste dirt. Like, tell me how the grass tastes today." And just a lot of that. The one you were talking about, the people not necessarily understanding this because, like you said, it's been so long since this has happened. Like, yes, there was the FA Cup one, and yes, that was awesome and magical and important and all those things, but it's not the home and home that is the Prem, right? That is the league, right? One man on the pitch understood that to his core. And that's because he's played in a bunch of fucking North Londons, and you could tell Granit Xhaka was there for it.
Yeah.
You could just tell.
Yeah.
That man was like, "Oh, this is a derby. Come, all you new young Sunderland players. I'm going to explain to you exactly what the fuck this means to everyone in the stands today."
Yeah. I think that's the thing is, like, I think Bruno tried, but without Dan Burn, that kind of hurt. I think that, we needed both of them on the pitch the whole time. But like I said, I think from our perspective, we'll just think that we didn't attack it hard enough. We expected the energy levels of like Barcelona at home, fucking PSG. Like we expected to be up their fucking throats or down their throats from get-go, and we weren't.
He just honestly seemed a little timid. It really did. It seemed a little timid.
I think after, and again, a tough result in midweek in Germany, like I said, which I think didn't help confidence at all. Like that's, I think, been our big issue is we get kick-started, we could win 2 or 3 or 4, and then we lose one. You know, we can't
just really fucking does a number.
We got to pick it back up again. It gets us. We haven't been consistent. So yeah, that sucks. I saw a couple messages like, they want to make it up to us on Wednesday or whatever for Fulham and whatnot. And it's like, you can't make this up till March. There is no making this up.
You make it up at St. Andrews and you have to go kick the shit out of them and end the 10 unbeaten. That's what you have to do.
Exactly. So I hope that's. I mean, now that they got it out of their system, because I said the same thing in the first 20 minutes. I was like, I feel like Eddie wants to let them kind of run around because they're younger, they're energetic. It's their first derby. We're a little bit more experienced on a bigger stage, but not with this match. I thought he was just going to let them kind of soak up that pressure, but we never got out of the gates after that. And losing Burn hurt. I think his subs were late, but. We'll get it is what it is.
We have to talk about the beautiful cross in that Big Dig Nick fucking put a perfectly placed header
fantastic.
Just over top of Ramsdale, off the bottom of the post and into the back of the net. The only problem is Aaron Ramsdale's his fucking goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you kind of feel like in that moment you were just like, yeah, of course, this is how we're gonna fucking lose? It's like,
kind of. I also thought, I mean, that happened on what, like 56 or 55 or some shit. So I was like, oh, all right, this will be the kick in the ass. They'll wake up and they'll be like, oh yeah, we're a fucking Champions League side, and half of these guys are off to AFCON in a week and
Right.
nobody knows who they are. Like, let's go. But they didn't. So yeah, I don't know that it did feel, I was explaining to somebody today. I was like, it was either going to go, we were going to kick the shit out of them. They were going to kick the shit out of us, or something exactly like that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I fuck like, it is what it is what it is. You can't fucking, there's not much to say to it.
Frankly, from that point on, Sunderland, Newcastle, Jew. Like, you think of the way you guys can just kind of slow down a game, make it a little ugly, get the other team frustrated. Like, and it's not this, like, you know, when we think of a newly promoted like Burnley type side that we're facing Man City, we put 11 behind the ball, fuck you, try to score. It wasn't that at all, because they were still attacking it. Just this way of just making it go a little bit slower than you want. Taking about a half a step off of the pace, and you could just tell it was driving your guys nuts. And it just didn't, like you said, they just couldn't get into the next gear. And I think, and I know it's going to be hard for you to kind of admit in this regards. That is a credit to Sunderland. That isn't so much a Newcastle fucked it off. Like, Sunderland did a really good job of making it uncomfortable and difficult for you, to the point where your guys just could not do what they needed to fucking do.
Yeah. That's why I was interested. Like, I think if they had started more on the front foot, like we're used to them doing, that wouldn't have been an issue. But once you started to kind of get deeper into the match, once you started to let, you know, that control go and let them kind of sink into this weird, because they dictated our play. We didn't play the way we were used to, at least in my, opinion. So it was a good
team that kicked the ever loving shit out of us 3 weeks ago. Like, you just, I didn't know who the fuck that club was on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. It's a weird. Their identity is weird right now. It's I think we've known it to be something since Eddie Howe came in, and it's in flux, I think, at the moment. I don't know if that's part, like, a big summer, it still changes, but you can't blame that shit. We're in December. Like, we got to get going.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to kind of jump ahead to that, because we're already kind of talking about Newcastle as a whole, and then we'll get to the very end and the scuffles and all that shit that makes all the fans go yes. But this team has seen kind of an interesting kind of rise and roller coaster. It's not so much a roller coaster where it's like the highs are highs, the lows are lows, but this kind of just a lot of movement and a lot of interesting parts, because you did get blessed with an ownership group that has just fuck you money. They can do whatever they want with that money. Like, they have that much kind of money. Like, just throw it at, like, it doesn't matter if they lose cash, because they'll still have more money than the world can imagine. Right. That's the thing you have. But you're also put in these confines of how you're allowed to spend it, and when you're allowed to spend it, and the manner in which you're allowed to spend it, and the size of your stadium and your TV and where you finish in the standings and how many jerseys you sell, all play into that and your profit and sustainability. And I don't think that ownership group fully understood that at first, because they went out, they spent the good money, they got into Champions League, and then suddenly it was like, oh fuck, we can't spend any money.
Yeah.
And learning their way around it has been very interesting, because you're now kind of at a point where you were able to spend a little, but not a lot. Maybe you're able to spend a little bit more this winter. It just kind of talk about that now. Like, do you feel like the front office has figured out kind of how to navigate and manage this road? Because you're not going to be allowed to get away with it like City did. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, I think they're still figuring it out. I mean, I think there's been front office changes like every summer, really, since Eddie Howe. So no, I think they're clearly still trying to come to grips with like how to do this with, like, I think that probably it's harder to balance expectations over in Riyadh. You know what I mean? And be like, they're like, why haven't they won everything yet? And it's like, oh, because they have rules. And they're like, what the fuck? Well, just change the rules then. I'm sure.
Right. How much money does it cost to change the rules? We'll give them the money, change the fucking rules.
I'm sure that's come up at least once. But I mean, thanks, Liverpool. We should be fucking fine for a while. So that massively helps. I think we might have missed this like on some signings. With right now, Elanga's a waste of 55 or 60 million, whatever the fuck we spent on him.
Right.
That's massive because that was where we needed to really strengthen, and we've done nothing there. Anthony Gordon's a fraud. Liverpool can have him for 100 million too. I don't think he's had a goal contribution. By the way. Yeah, you're welcome. Fucking, I don't think I saw something today. I don't think he's had. Or he scored a goal from open play maybe since January, and it's December. So yeah, that's a whole thing. But other than that, I mean, I think we're in a good spot. We have cash now. We shouldn't be too bad. I think we've upgraded, but I think our problem is still depth. Like I was having this discussion with somebody on Sunday, and I think it's that if you take that team from 2 years ago that was in Champions League, it was not as talented. Like quality across the pitch wasn't there. There were a lot of injuries, but they kind of weathered the storm, stayed, finished well in the league and all that stuff. Since then, we haven't gotten deeper. We've just upgraded that 11. Does that make sense? So I think that's where I think that's kind of where our biggest issue is like, sure, that 11 is much better and can hang with, the likes of the higher end of Europe, the likes with the higher end of the league when they're up for it. But you still only have 11 to 13 guys. You're running them ragged. And that's where I think our spending becomes troublesome, is because we can't. I don't think we need to necessarily spend a ton on the first team. I think we need to spend it on that fucking bench, but we can't spend it on a bench that's quality enough to keep us competitive in all of these tournaments and all of these competitions because of the hamstringing from PSR. So it's like this really weird, we've done well, we've gotten better, we're still in Champions League, we're doing well in Champions League. Our league form is inconsistent, but we're still middle of the table, whatever. And literally fucking 2 more wins, and you're back in the top 4. Right at this rate. So it's
what you did last year, you just backdoor your way into suddenly at the end of the year. You're like, oh shit,
Eddie Howe's second half is typically far superior. We go on a run. Things kind of settle down. It's been sometimes you get guys healthy back. I think we're seeing an injury bug now, but. I think we're fine. I think we're spread a little thin. And again, we don't have the depth, the quality depth that the likes of the teams we're trying to compete with have. You know what I mean?
And there's catch-22 in that, right? Because you're in Champions League, so you need to make sure you make it to that next stage, because that next stage is money that allows you to be still within the financial constraints of what you've spent. It's not a matter of, it means we could spend more. It means, okay, we've done the bare minimum to allow what we've spent so far. So that's a have to do. You got to make it to the knockout. You can't not, right? If not, then you have to win a fucking cup, or you have to then finish in 4th, and the league becomes much crazier. And then where instead of Elanga, you're probably better suited buying 2 kids at 20 million each that probably aren't ready for the Champions League, but are going to be ready for your team next year when you do sell Gordon and need a person to play, right? That kind of scenario. Then you couple that as well with the amount of homegrown talent you've had to sell, because PSR says you get a better value for selling something homegrown, when isn't the whole idea to have a good farm system is to have them become club legends and stay with you forever? And it's it's this
and not have to go to the market to spend 100 million. I mean,
sure it drives. I mean, you've got a great midfield trio with Guimaraes, Tonali, and Joe Linton, but I'm sure it drives you fucking nuts to see Anderson playing at goddamn at Forest and going, he should be on our team. He should have stayed here.
Yeah. The best part is that that was a deal for Odysseus Vlachodimos, fucking Greek goalkeeper, who I think maybe played a match for us. Like, it was legit just backdoor shit. We were like, here's this probably generational, strangely Scottish midfielder, because he didn't think he was ever going to be England good. And fucking, here's this nobody Greek goalkeeper, guys. And yep, here we are. Yeah, we'd love Elliot Anderson back. That'd be phenomenal. Because again, the midfield's aging too. Like, Tonali's fine, but Joelinton and Bruno are both plus side of 30, I believe, 30 and 31, 30 and 32, something like that. And you can kind of see Joelinton's legs are starting to go. So, like, yeah, it would be really nice to have our farm-grown, homegrown midfielder. But
Uncle, well, this might help you a little because you are Uncle Saudi. I was gonna say Uncle Saudi League might not give as much of a premium on Joelinton because that first couple of years of them throwing mad cash at England to buy players has really subsided. So you know, that would have been one of those, oh yeah, we'll give you 80 million for him. You'd be like, what the fuck? You get 80 million for an aging fucking Joelinton, right? Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And now we can't sell hotels to ourselves or our own women's team to ourselves. Like, they're really
Chelsea's
fucking it up for us, is all I'm saying.
Chelsea's allowed to do it all. Finally, the end of the match, Sunderland's keeper comes out for a ball, and it's what it is, right? The player, your guys are frustrated. They haven't had a good game. It's gone horribly wrong. And yeah, you undercut the keeper, you put him on his ass hard, right? And then all fucking hell broke loose.
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
Yeah, it's almost like you could just set, you were like, all right, so this match has given us everything. Where's the fist fight?
Yeah, where's the
fist fight?
Yeah.
We need the fight now. Or as a supporter, are you at least kind of, Graham has talked about this before, when a team loses a match and they don't get any yellow cards and they just kind of accept the loss, and you're just like, where was the fucking gumption? Why didn't you fucking give a shit? Like, play like you cared. Is there at least some kind of reward at the end of it? You're like, yeah, 4 yellow cards were handed out. We got 3 of them. Fuck you. We beat you in that battle.
Yes and no, because we still, I guarantee anyone you talk to, really, the bigger thing will be, like, we've lost them. I wasn't like, yeah, we're definitely going to win. It was I think the energy level. Like, we were not happy with that. That's what I think really got us. Because, like, look at all the even the marketing material from Premier League and NBC and all that shit. It was literally just clips of us kicking the shit out of each other. And it was certainly a chippy physical game, but it was, to us, it wasn't. I think, again, to the neutral, you're like, fuck yeah, that lived up to it, and we're like, damn, that is not as nasty as it should have been, because that's what we're used to. So maybe it's just first time back, big hype, a lot of hype on national television. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's just what it was. I also, whatever, 25,000 or whatever they fucking hold at the Stadium of Light. Let's see what the atmosphere is like at 50,000 at St. James's.
They hold a lot. They are one of the largest.
I know, it's like 40. It's like 40. Yeah. No.
Well, here's the last thing. I told you I was going to be gentle for most of it when we were talking off mic. Well, this one I'm not going to be gentle.
That's fair.
I'm going to make you talk about your fucking opponents, because
they were good.
You knew they're coming back up. It's not just that. It's this season. Like, it's got it. Like, Graham makes the reference of, this is your Joker, right? You're Batman, that's your Joker. Like, you don't want to, like, it's funny to see them get relegated, but you'd rather see them in the league with you every year, because
I'm excited.
You're Batman and you need your Joker. Like, you know, he's like, he'd laugh if Spurs went down, but it would kind of fucking suck that there wasn't 2 North London derbies, right? And the same thing applies for me with Everton and Liverpool. It's like, I don't want to not have a Merseyside derby twice a fucking year. Like, and they're not only up and I think, already well on their way to survival, right? With the points that they're at. They're fucking thriving. I mean, is this well above what you expected from them as their greatest rival, as their kind of the team that hates them the most and would be the most critical of them?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. I don't know. I think when we saw them in the summer, they signed a lot of talent, young talent. They brought Xhaka in, which I thought was great because of the leadership aspect of things with all the youngsters around. I said in the beginning of the season, it still holds true now, I think, is that they did a lot of what they needed to do that will most likely get them to survival, but they're about to literally fall apart. They're about to send about 7 people to AFCON, right?
Yeah.
I think Granit Xhaka was a great signing. Does Granit Xhaka's legs make it through a Premier League season at this intensity and at the weight of that he's going to have to carry this midfield now that a lot of that talent goes away for a month? You know what I mean? This is going. Let's see a festive season in those legs, Granit Xhaka. You've been playing in what, fucking Turkey for the last whatever, like, or wherever the fuck you've been. I don't know. I don't follow his career, but yeah, I think that's where, if I'm being like a realist and assessing them, I think they've been phenomenal up to now. I think you're right. They have gotten themselves to safety. I think they're well drilled and well coached, having watched them a little bit closer, on Sunday. But yeah, now's the nitty gritty. Now's when we find out what fucking teams are made of over the next 3 weeks through the festive period, coming out of that and seeing what that looks like, especially with a big part of the team gone.
All right, producer Mel, I'm going to need you to clip all of that, except for when he said, now it's for the nitty gritty. I need all the complimentary stuff and not him being an ass, so I can play that on repeat at the beginning of every show just to fuck with him. Burnley and West Ham both score 2, which typically equals points on the board. Problem, they both came up 3 and still find themselves in the drop. Fulham 3, Burnley 2, Villa 3, West Ham 2. Burnley at Turf Moor, and they equalize, and they still figure out a way to fucking give it away and find themselves losers of 7 in a row. If they're giving up 3 goals a match, this is not going to go well for Burnley, because this is not how they were designed, from playing in the Championship to now in the Prem. 2 goals was 3 points under this Scotty Parker system. Like, 2 goals and the match is fucking over, right? And just, you could just see this season is already starting to get longer and longer and longer on Burnley. And they're one of the teams I had dead on to go down, but just you could tell they're going to have fight, but this is about what we're going to see is what we saw.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of, you can't make mistakes. The Premier League's different gravy. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are, I think you are a good team. Look at the stat line. Like that. I mean, you think Burnley wins that game kind of handedly, right? You know what I mean? But that's not how this shit goes, man. Like, and yeah, you're right. That's the kind of stuff like you got to fix, or the season gets real long in the depth of December.
Well, and that and then the human green highlighters that were fucking Fulham, put 2 in 30 minutes, which certainly doesn't help, and that is not very Scott Parker Burnley. And here at Turf Moor, that's what kind of was even more baffling. Like, both of those goals were way too fucking easy.
Yeah. Fulham's, I like Fulham this year, though, man. I think they're scrappy. They score goals. Like, that's not that surprising to me from them. I guess you're right. It is surprising from the Burnley side, but Fulham is troublesome.
Well, there's a few things that started working for Fulham, because Fulham did go on a bad run and were 1 point only about 4 points. I know you don't always see everyone in all the matches and everything, and they weren't scoring goals at all. And then the match before the Man City match, where they lost 5-4, like, they started scoring, and ever since it's been this like 4, 3, 3, 3. Like they're just, and it's a bevy of people scoring. The one consistent is Harry Wilson is suddenly on a burner right now. If it wasn't for the fact that Foden is scoring, I think Foden's now scored, I think 7 in his last 5. Foden has scored. If it wasn't for the fact that, and that's City and everybody's going to pay attention to that, if it wasn't for that, people would be really talking about the amount Harry Wilson is scoring right now. And he's just seemingly doing it with ease. In this match, it was a goal and an assist, and he was fucking everywhere, it felt like.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, man.
This was the run Fulham needed. This is going to get them kind of away from everything, and they're going to be comfortably 13th or 14th. That's just who they kind of are. And I worry they're aging out a little as a team. I had a little concern of them going into the start of this year, but I felt like there were other clubs that, I mean, one we're about to talk about in a moment that was certainly in much worse shape in that regards. But but there's always that team, like you think of how like the iteration of Leicester that didn't just go down, but the first one that went down, you were like, that team was 5th place and playing in Europe the year before.
Mm-hmm.
And then it suddenly wasn't working. And then it wasn't working till the fact that they are suddenly at the end of the season, they're looking up going, oh, fuck, how the hell did we get out of this?
Yeah.
Needing other people to lose. And Everton figured out a way to win and they went down. And you're just like, how the fuck did that just happen to us? And typically the last 2 seasons isn't what it's normally like in the Prem. It's not normally the 3 that come up that are the 3 that go down. There's always someone who's going to catch someone asleep.
Yep.
Always going to have that team that goes, how the fuck that just happened to us?
Yep.
You know, a good friend wouldn't mention, somebody's team that happened to that's on a computer screen directly across from me right now.
Hey, man.
Oh, by the way, that's tea in the cup. I'm giving you my best Kermit right here.
I know. It happens.
That's just for you.
That's okay. That's okay.
Moving on.
That's okay. We'll let you have it.
Producer Mel.
Hello.
Your boys have now won 10 in the fuck row, man.
No, we don't make it look easy. We don't make it look pretty, but damn, we're getting it done.
Just keep winning and doing well in Europe. I mean, everything is just flowing, but you did manage to go down twice to fucking West Ham.
Well, I have 2 words for you. Marco Bizzot.
Hurt. Well, I mean, he kind of messed up on the
Marco Bizzot.
So what are we doing right now?
Marco Bizzot. No more questions.
Thank you. That was one of Emmy's pressers earlier this year when Unai Emery, I mean, when they were talking about Emmy because he was supposed to get sold to Manchester United. And they were right before the match talking to him. He just looks at him and goes, Marco Bizzot. And they ask another question. He goes, Marco Bizzot. And then they keep asking questions. He goes, Marco Bizzot. That is all thing. That was it.
Hilarious.
Oh my goodness.
Great.
But the Irons, like I said, they go up twice and still figure out a way to lose. And I'm starting to wonder with this team because this is where we were talking about the kind of aging out situation and not really having depth. And they've got some players like Somerville is very young, very talented, got a lot of energy to him. And obviously the team runs on what Bowen does. And you think if Bowen gets hurt, like who's going to score any goals? Who's going to create the opportunity to score goals? Like there's just... Can Nuno save this club? I mean, he's a good manager and knows how to handle teams defensively, but I mean, I'm getting a little worried for them now.
I don't know, man. I don't think there's enough across the pitch to do it, which is crazy. Because, like you said, like there's talent on the team, but there's also like some championship players on that team. You know what I mean? Like. So I don't know. They are the culprit when we were just having that little discussion and dig at me that yes, Yeah, this is the one that I think it could just be like. Now they haven't necessarily dropped and been like, "Oh shit, how did we end up here?" It's been kind of a slow ride to being like, "Oh well, we could end up here," and here we are. So yeah, man, I think they're in trouble. This is again, we're entering into that make or break. Everybody's got to figure it out here in the next couple weeks and slingshot themselves into the second half of this season or not.
One of the things you always kind of look at when you look at a midfield, and you were hinting at this a little bit with your team and the aging out and stuff like that. It's okay to have one older, wily veteran in that midfield, right? The example I always use for Everton is it's Idrissa Gueye, right? But it's younger players around him.
Mm-hmm.
It's Souček, it's Paqueta, it's Ward-Prowse hasn't been playing, and I forget who the other midfielder is, but it's just like there's no youth in their midfield at all. And while they may be very smart and very good on the ball, and you're asking a lot of them legs, man. And if you're old and slow, like eventually you're not going to be able to keep up with the pace of the team you're playing against. And particularly in the middle of the pitch, that's exactly where you need the pace to be.
Yeah. Yep.
Villa, like I said, Villa now winners 10 in a row. You've got Rodgers is on a burner so far this year. And now Watkins 2-2, starting to put the ball in the back of the net. We asked this question last week for Danny, and Sam Graham had called in. We asked him the question as well. I'm going to say it again. Shh, don't say it. Is Villa in a title race? Because it fucking feels like they are. It feels like it to me.
I mean,
here's
the
big thing I'm going to give you.
Is Villa here to fuck up a title race?
Maybe that's a different story.
One thing I want to give you: the two teams above them, Arsenal and Manchester City. Mel, what did Villa do to both of them?
I believe I did not have to drink Malort those weeks.
You beat them. You beat both of them.
Yeah.
Like now you got to go to the buildings the next time, but
we beat them at home.
You beat, and in this 10-game run, you beat fucking both of them. Yeah. So like, people are like, they're not in the title run. There's a lot of season. I'm like, right now, if you're just looking at the points, because if they both lost and Villa won, guess who's number one in the fucking league? It's fucking Villa. Villa's in first place.
That's
and
fair.
Villa has beaten both of these fucking clubs. So will they be in a title race at the end of the season?
We also have the potential to lose to anybody at any time.
I was going to say, like, we beat City. Are we in the title race? Like, I get what you're saying, but like, maybe again, I can't make decisions yet. I keep going back to this is the next 2 or 3 weeks, but it really fucking is. Like, we're gonna figure out some shit here, but come 2026. Oh yeah, and I think that's where we really need to sit. But I think I love Villa's makeup. I love that team. I just hate Villa, in general. So yeah, it pains me sometimes because I love me some Yuri Tielemans and shit, but. Yeah, I think they're good, man. They can cause some shit, and Arsenal loves to bottle shit. So hey, let's not call it over, but I don't think so.
And City loves to ship goals right now. Their defense is horrible. I just, for me, obviously this can always change as the season goes on, but in this moment right now, Villa are in a fucking title race. Because it can change legitimately in a fucking weekend.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
And it would be one thing if the team, like, their only loss in the last 3 months, besides Europe, they lost a game in Europe, and they lost to fucking Liverpool at Anfield. That's it.
Yeah, the key word though, at Anfield. Let's see how we do. Arsenal at home and City at home.
Yeah, but that's fucking it. And it's not pretty, but how many title-winning teams do we see that won games where you're just like, man, they won some fucking ugly ones? Well, frankly, it's how you win a fucking title.
I mean, Fuckers did it.
Yeah, Leicester.
Leicester did it. Yeah. Why the cheese did it? Why can't we?
The cheese. I just For me, it feels like it could fucking happen. Like I I mean, I hate it because my wife's team would win a title and my team never will, and she'll hold it over my head for the rest of the life. But it could fucking happen,
dude. You'd hate it. Imagine Graham.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Oh, it would be good if I turned to the fucking page with the scores. Chelsea 2, Everton 0, Liverpool 2, Brighton 0, Arsenal 2, Wolverhampton 1. I'm sorry. Wolverhampton 3, Arsenal 0. Just they scored 2 on themselves. Manchester City 3, Palace 0, Forest 3, Spurs 0, Leeds 1, Brentford 1, Manchester United 4, Bournemouth 4. Chelsea get a nice win. Cole Palmer's back, scores a goal, yet in the post presser, Maresca, when being interviewed, said it was the worst 48 hours in his career as the manager of Chelsea.
Yeah, you love that, honestly.
you know what? That is some prime this.
Like we say in Portugal, bread is bread and cheese is cheese. Didn't bring to the game not just the basics of football, I believe the basics of life.
That is some Mourinho shit.
To the goddamn sense.
It's been the worst 48 hours of my career in Chelsea. What did you just do? What the fuck, dude?
Right. Holy shit.
And then explained none of it.
None of it. Yeah.
Just said it and put it out in the universe and said, there we go. Voila. Yeah. Fucking enjoy.
After a win.
This game really hinged on the fact that Kieran Dewsbury-Hall went out early with an injury. Chelsea were opportunistic, scored their goals. Honestly, for Everton never win at the Bridge. I think it was the 90s is the last time we won a league game at the Bridge. I do remember we have won multiple FA Cup matches there. The one I remember the best was the come from behind Leighton Baines free kick to send it to extra time, and then us winning on penalties. And I remember the Lukaku beating the ever-loving shit out of Chelsea 2-0. And one of the only times we've ever seen Diego Costa get a red card.
Yeah. Not
in the league, because remember, his first league red card was with Wolves when at the end of his career. But an FA Cup red card, because that man would do all the cheating and always get away with it. And that was one few games that he didn't. If I am a little concerned with Dewsbury-Hall being out simply because for AFCON, we're only losing 2 players, but they're 2 pretty fucking massive players. Yep. We're losing Idrissa Gueye, which we proved Dewsbury-Hall fell back with either Timmy Abraham or Jimmy Gardner, and they were fine. But then if you don't have Dewsbury-Hall and then you don't have Idrissa Gueye, like, what are we doing for that central mid? Yeah. And then the other one, Jack has been phenomenal, but Ilian Ndiaye on the other side is pretty fucking special and getting a lot of attention. And him being out, yes, we can put in Charlie Alcaraz, we can put in Tyler Dibbling, but those are the youngsters that are going to be the guys next year, not this year. So, and it makes it a lot easier for teams to then just go, oh, they're going to have to go down the left with Jackie Boy, and we'll just double up Jackie Boy. Yeah. We'll shut him down because they can't switch it over to the right and have Ndiaye burn us because Ndiaye isn't there. I'm not at all surprised by the result. I am surprised we didn't get a goal. I felt like we had a lot of opportunities in the second half and the ball just didn't go in the net.
That's fair.
But like, it's going to be a long day at the office for us next week. Even though we're at home, we've got Arsenal, and we're not going to have all the creative pieces to our puzzle. And but the rest of December isn't terrible, and January isn't horrible also. I think, we're going to keep being who we are. We're going to be somewhere between 8th and 12th. That's the team we are, right? Like,
yeah.
So I take my shot on Malort, and as you see there, Alan.
Yep.
You're lovely.
I mean,
that I bought on Dort Spirect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Cheers. Fuck off, AFCON. And
Yeah.
ooh,
Ugh.
that tastes like Maresca's last 48 hours.
No, that's a good one. Terrible.
Liverpool Brighton. This actually fucked my bet because I had picked under 2.5 in your match. I was very certain it was going to be a 1-1, 2-0, 1-0 kind of game.
That makes sense.
But I picked over 3.5 in this match because the last 7 times these guys have played, a minimum of 4 goals. These guys have been goal fest, and honestly, a rather kind of mundane walk in the park for Liverpool, which is funny considering the amount of turmoil they're under right now. Have you seen? I'm assuming you have, but the Mo Salah comments, and then Slot not including him in Champions League, and then kind of like they asked him, was this the last game Mo's playing for the club because he's about to go to AFCON? He was like, I don't know, we'll see. Like, neutral is a loose term because obviously you hate Liverpool because you're a good human being with a soul and don't and hate all things terrible and awful, which is Liverpool. But taking all of this, how do you take this just from an outside looking in at Mo and Liverpool and what's going on?
Oh man, that's a loaded question. It just seems like I don't know. It's hard to get a grip on. Like Mo doesn't strike me as like the petulant superstar. You know what I mean? He doesn't. He's not like he hasn't been. Like as much as I dislike him for carving us up for 10+ years. Like he just always seems like a straight shooting guy. He gets his job done and he goes about his business. So like for him to come out and say some shit like that, I don't think it's gamesmanship because I don't think that's his MO. Like
he's genuinely hurt.
He's genuinely like
has been wronged.
I feel like the bald Dutch guy is squeezing me out, and I think he's squeezing me out to wedge the 130 million pound striker into the team along with Ekitike that he didn't have to do. But here we are. Like the powers that be are forcing a situation which is now detrimental to the team in the grand scheme of things. And I think that's where his head is personally. Yeah. And Klopp, Klopp, same fucking thing. Klopp. Same annoyance.
Well, it was windy like crazy. People love when I talk about the wind, but it was windy and it's not good for football. And so we had really to work hard.
I hate listening to them both. Truly.
It's intriguing because we were talking about it a little bit last week. It's not for nothing. He has tons of scoring titles. He is won you 2 titles in the modern day Premier League era, which no one can say prior to him. And after he's done it all with humility and graciousness and never been an issue on or off the field. Like, when people have made references to him being a Muslim man, he's just worked it into a ceremony, like sat down and meditated, and like he never, and he just goes about doing his business. He's not a Luis Suarez, Bruno Fernandes. Oh my God, every time I get hit, I need to run to the ref and yell. Like he just goes about his fucking business and does his fucking job. And the failings of this team aren't one guy who scores you 20 goals a season because he's not scoring you those goals right now. It's like, take a look at your defense, which is in shambles. Your midfield, which has now had to cover their asses because defense is in shambles. Your 160 million striker that clearly wasn't prepared for the year and doesn't really care if he scores goals or not. Like he just this and a fucking player that was a bedstone to that team dying. Another player that was very important shipped off to fucking Bayern. Like, a lot of fucking things to look at with that team. And much like I said last week, I'll say to you now, I can't believe I'm fucking defending these cunts.
Yeah.
It ain't fucking Mo's fault.
No.
It ain't
But
Mo's
I was going to
fault.
say, I think you alluded to it. Like, if there's criticism for Mo, then why is there not criticism for Van Dyke? Like, you know what I mean? He's the defense is the problem. He's the fucking man, isn't he not? Like, he's supposed to be. It ain't Mo's problem. It's Van Dyke's problem, in my opinion.
Why is the armband still on his arm?
Yeah.
Why is the armband still on his arm? The team's got failings right now. Why is the captain armband on his arm?
Fair point. Yeah.
Like, why isn't it on somebody else's arm? You know?
Yep.
Like, Sloboslai's been playing a lights out fucking season.
Fantastic.
He's the only guy on that team who's played well and consistent the whole season. And he's had to do most of it from right back instead of fucking middle of the field, right?
Yeah. It's true.
Brighton, real quick, and then we'll move on to the next game. Who the fuck are Brighton? Like, they're so fucking unassuming. But you also look at the play, and it's just this like, okay, I can see this really dynamic young team with a purpose and a really good kind of money ball strategy of the way of doing things. And then they just like, you got Liverpool, who's a wounded animal in your building, and you let them just have a 2-0.
Yep.
Just what the fuck, man?
I think it's identity crisis there too. I feel it feels like us in a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It's just an inconsistency. I don't know if it's just a mentality of how we go to work every day. I don't know if it's there's just something simmering underneath that you can't quite put your finger on. Cause they're talented. They're super fucking fast. Like, they're a nightmare to play against kinda when they're on their day. But yeah, they just can't figure out how to do it, take it over week after week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
The only thing consistent about Brighton is that they're going to be inconsistent. That's really the only thing that's consistent about them. Now, we are going to give, and this is going to give you so much joy, Mr. Graham's team exactly the amount of coverage they deserve. Wolverhampton scored 3 goals. 2 of them on themselves. Managed to figure out a way to lose the game.
Yep.
That's what it was, right?
That's it, man.
And I was gonna talk a little bit about Arsenal in the title race, but you know what? Scrap that. But they're in the title race. Maybe they battle it. Maybe they don't. Graham will have enough opportunities to talk about that ad nauseum.
Yeah.
Can Wolves fucking win? Are they going to win? I mean,
not after that. Not after I saw that.
They're going down.
Yeah, I feel bad for our boy Danny, but I
fucking love Danny, but it just
yeah, that's rough business. They can score. They're capable of scoring. I don't know even what to say, man. They're just not good. Yeah. They're just so bad. They're bad. It's like abject failure across the park.
We'll talk about it when we do injury time, but if ever they're going to win a game, right? They have Brentford at home this weekend.
Yeah.
Brentford are horrible on the road. Absolutely horrid on the road.
Yeah.
If ever you are going to finally get 3 fucking points, there it is, Wolves.
Gotta be, yeah.
If you don't get 3 here, you could be dead on to break the record for the fastest team to go down, which was Southampton last year. You could be dead on to be the most goals given up, which was Sheffield a few seasons ago. And you could be dead on to be the worst point total in the Premier League with Derby County at 13. Like, it is.
Do they have 2?
All of those things, if you don't win next week, a draw, and those things are all still on the fucking table. They could end up being epically the worst team to ever play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And none of it's the players' faults, and none of it's the goddamn ownership group that just doesn't fucking care, man. They just don't care at all. They just Like you said, I feel
there.
boy Danny, man. It's horrible. It's really horrible. Oh, trust me, we're going to talk more about horrible orders when we owners when we do the EFL show. We got some Mike Ashley.
Plenty of them.
We got shit Mike Ashley aspires to be in the EFL show for you. Because I don't know how much you know about the whole Sheffield Wednesday thing. I'm gonna tell you.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love that shit. You thought putting ads of your company were just wait for it. This was a perfect win for City. This was you go into a tough place like Palace, frankly, a team that plays you very well on a consistent basis. You go into their building, your big man scores, and your starlet, the one who's supposed to take over that De Bruyne Silva type role, and Foden scores another 2 and is in perfect fucking form. This is City purring. And when you have the result that Arsenal did, and it was a win, and they're still on top, but then you keep seeing what City's doing, you start to go, oh, the footsteps are getting louder. They're in the room now. They are right behind us. And we make one fuck up, and they are going to be in first place, and then we're chasing them.
Yep. Which is never good.
No.
Chasing City's never good.
Not. No. And here's the thing, and Palace almost had that chance. The one thing that Palace screwed up was they put the ball off the post when they had that opportunity with Mateta breaking in. Yeah. He scores that goal. It's 1-0. It's a completely different game, and it becomes a lot tougher on City, but that didn't happen. And just City cruised. This was, I mean, this looks like a team that can win the title again, right?
I mean, they usually do, but this is, again, I keep going back to it. We're going to find out what people are fucking made of. And this is, they're hitting their stride. Arsenal looks like they're starting to drop a little bit. It's going to be fun.
So for Forest, it may seem like a shocking result for 3-0, but for people who don't know, this is what Dyche does to Spurs. He did it at Everton, beat him 4-1 one time. Like, I mean, Dyche knows how to like really fuck with Spurs' world.
Yeah. I don't know why that is.
At the City ground, well, and of course, massive gaff in the back from Spurs that gets it started. And then Vicario misplacing a shot that he thought was a pass. Like it just this kind of comedy of errors, the Spursiness of it all is just what they seem to do. And I'd like to get your thought process on this. This feels like a Spurs problem, not a Thomas Franks problem, even though he's the manager. I feel like he's the right guy. Just this is the wrong team, right?
I feel like that's kind of the story of Spurs over the last, I don't know, a long time now. Other than Ange. Ange was the wrong guy. But
Ange was the wrong guy for Forest too.
Yeah. Ange doesn't have it, is all I'm saying. But no, you're right. I think this is like, I think we played them not that long ago, and like they're just. It's not a Thomas Frank issue because my man even looked exasperated and was just like, they fucking suck and they're paid a lot and they think they're good, but they're not. They're not good. We got fucking Van de Ven's good or whatever the fuck his name is. That guy, real good. Fuck everybody else, terrible. Fuck he looks like I've coached little league baseball teams. And I'm just like, I got 2 kids, man. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it work. What do you want me to do here? I got nothing. Like I can't coach my way out of this one. Fucking it is. Yeah, it is what it is. They're just not good, and I don't think it's his fault either.
So keeping it rolling. Honestly, for Leeds, a point in London is a fucking point in London. They typically, even when they are in the Championship, they love to go to London and just shit the bed. They are renowned for it. Especially our boy Geckel talks about it all the time about how epically bad Leeds are in London. And they went behind and they figured out a way to get the draw. And when you look at it, especially after 3-2 loss to City, 3-1 win over Chelsea, 3-3 draw with Liverpool. This felt like exactly the game that they would fall asleep at the wheel at. And really, of the 4 of those matches, this was the most important one.
Yeah.
This was the one that keeps you up. It gets you, hopefully, if they would have won, would have gotten them closer to Brentford and a little bit more in their world. But we've talked about West Ham earlier. It's like, we already know Sunderland's going to be safe. Leeds look like they want to be here. Like, there's a lot of times you see a newly promoted club and they're like, okay, they're treading water, like Burnley. Like, they're trying, but it ain't going to work.
Yeah.
And this looks like a team that's built and has the gumption to be like, yeah, we're fucking staying. It may be by the skin of our teeth at the last game of the fucking season, but we're fucking staying, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I've had a couple Leeds players on my first place fantasy team for fucking most of the season so far, and
would have been nice if you did it in my league.
I was joked about this with Kelly the other day. Total sidebar, real quick. Fucking, I was like, man, Sam was like, hey, are you gonna play this year? Are you actually gonna fucking play? And I was like, yes, I'm gonna make a concerted effort to play, and I'm in fucking first place, and I haven't looked back. I've been in it since the start of the season, and I have no idea because I hadn't had the injury bug, and now I do. And so now I actually have to figure it out.
We'll talk about it on injury time. And I'll talk about it. So patreon.com/DU football show for all of our extra content. That's how you do it. See, that's a fucking way you do a promotion there, producer Mel. I got the half wink as she's leaned back in her chair, just watching me do my thing here. All right. Finally. Oh, no, I did want to mention this one. The Bees. They are very good at home. They are very shit on the road.
Yep.
And you kind of needed to win this one.
Yeah.
Like, this is a team that's going to be in and around
one of those ones. Yeah.
Like, you're going to lose the Arsenal or the City. Like, you're going to lose those at home.
Yeah.
You fucking needed to get this one. And what are your thoughts on them? I'm not sold. Like, I feel like this is a team like Leicester that they're just going to kind of slowly drop. And suddenly at the end of the season, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, they went down.
Yeah.
Like,
we're talking Brentford, you mean?
No,
I think you're kind of right. There's nothing there's no, like you said, that intangible. There's something about a team that you're like, I think they've got enough in the tank, right?
Lost Mbeumo, lost Wisa. Like, Thiago's scoring a lot of goals, a lot of penalties, right?
Yeah.
Like, and he's scoring, so you can't knock if your striker is doing his job. It's kind of hard to knock it, but one of the assistant coaches took over the team. It's almost like they're going to go, well, this system works, so we're going to keep it going like this.
Yeah.
But it didn't really like you replace the pieces you need to. It just feels like it's a long season, and it feels like the length of that season is going to catch up to these guys at some point for me.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that they're in that group that if you were asking me now, I think is in serious jeopardy. You got to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I very much agree. And the final game of the week, holy shit.
Which I should have watched some of this.
8 goals, 8 lead changes, 8
Nice.
different goal scorers. So first half,
Lord.
United goes up early. Later on, Semedo equalizes, and Semedo hadn't been scoring, so he gets his goal. Only to find in the added time of the first half, United score, go up 2-1. One of the things that always drives Graham nuts, I don't know if this is one that drives you nuts as well, it drives me nuts as well, but is Bournemouth comes out and scores in the 46th and the 52nd minute. What the fuck were you doing at halftime?
Yeah.
Telling everybody how great they were and like braiding their hair and like giving them soft, gentle hugs. Like, what the fuck were you doing at halftime? And
that's wild.
They're down 3-2. Then in about the 75th minute, a probably shouldn't have been called handball that was outside the box.
Okay.
Bruno gets a free kick, puts up a butte Like it's the
yeah
20 yards out on the left, puts it in the upper right, like no chance for the keeper, puts it just over the heads of the wall that was jumping. I mean, it's a beaut. Yeah. We all hate Bruno Fernandes, but it was a beautiful fucking goal.
Yep.
And then they score a minute later to go up fucking 4-3 to then 3 minutes later
cough it up.
Give it up. Yeah. Like
good Lord.
Fun, exciting, great. So much fun to watch for the neutral. The neutral, it's on steroids. It's crazy.
Yeah. Holy shit.
They get out of there with a draw in a game that they were down multiple times in. And yeah, they took the lead at one point, but you're at Old Trafford. You kind of not going to be surprised you give it away, but getting it back twice is pretty impressive on their end. Then, but at the end, they're happy. The only thing that made sense is at least the United players weren't happy about it.
Yeah.
Like, remember, these are the ones who celebrated a 2-1 win on a penalty late at home against Burnley at the start of the year.
Yeah.
So at least they're starting to understand, hey, like, this isn't acceptable for who we are.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's been
fun to watch.
Fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I hate them.
Well, it's been over 400 days since 450 some odd days since that bloke's been able to cut his fucking hair, right?
Yep, that's true. Yep. Hey.
Do you ever think that guy's going to cut his hair?
No, fuck no. Not anytime soon, at least. It's going to be a while. What does he need? 5? Is that what he said?
Your money.
Alrighty. My dumbass missed on my bet because, like I said, I actually thought Liverpool and Brighton were going to score goals, but instead they decided to be really like lazy and boring. So I am now down $1,037.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
Big maths for you here. Big maths for you here, Alan. Did you know that 7.142657143% of the time works 100% of the time, stud?
I did not. That's a very specific percentage. So specific.
I am going to hold off on doing my bet for TikTok later in the week. Just because Graham decided to wait till the end of the week to do his, which allows him an unfair betting balance in that regard.
That makes sense. Okay.
But it was great. Producer Mel, you're gonna love this. Mr. Graham had a 7-leg parlay, right? He had gotten the first 5 legs correct coming into the time where he had picked Sunderland to win over 1.5 goals. Sunderland won 1-0. Graham missed his bet by a half a fucking goal. All you need to do is for Sunderland to put it to bed and make it 2-0, or Newcastle to level and then score. No, he'd only picked Sunderland to win. He picked Sunderland outright to win.
I know. Yeah.
Just
well, sucks to suck, Sam. Graham.
Yeah. He's because we never bet the first game of the season, so he is
not good gambling.
0 for 37. 0 for 37. You mean this?
Not good gambling. 9-way parlay. Terrible with money. Get it the fuck together, Sam.
You should listen to producer Mel.
You dick should listen more to Mel. So once again, Mel is right.
I love the implied ellipsis after that.
Yeah.
So Gen X. Gen X.
I put the ellipsis and I don't fucking care. I know it drives them nuts. I'm still going to do it anyways. It gives me pride. It makes me happy. That's I'm just going to do that little thing. So like I said, the bets will come up on Friday. that is going to wrap it up. Alan, any parting words? Anything you want to plug? Tell people where to go hang out with the Baltimore crew and all that good shit.
I hate everything. I hate fucking Newcastle, and I fucking hate Sunderland, and I hate everything. I hate the world. No. Yeah, shitty weekend. I'll be happier. I'll be happier on Thursday when I'm headed to England. But no, like you said, everybody check us out at Bobtown Magpies on all your social media platforms. If you're looking for the Toon Army Baltimore, that's our affectionate nickname because we like riding in Baltimore. So yeah, come check us out. We hang out at the Abbey in Mount Washington for everything. Midweek games, the FA Cups, the Champions Leagues, the 6:30, 7 a.m.ers when we get them from time to time. Yeah, we're open for everything. So come check us out. And then, yes, the other project, the Middle Class Holes, at MDL Class Holes, Instagram, Twitter, the Middle Class Holes on Facebook. Check us out. I'm not there as often, but I'm still hilarious, and there's a plethora of my clips that you should just watch. Don't even worry about those other two guys. Just watch me speak, and if you see this face, it's gold, baby. So yeah, check us out.
I'm still so disappointed that you weren't there for the show I did with Graham. You would have loved it. I would. Laying all the deep cut references for your listeners to let them know that I was a guest that actually listens to the show. And
nice. Yes.
Nice solid debate about over the fence or through the gate and
through the gate. Yeah.
Yes, producer Mel.
Shore Billy has parting words.
Okay. Shore Billy has parting words. Let's hear what Shore Billy has to say. I do have a cunt to talk about, but please go ahead. What has Shore Billy got for us?
Fuck Sunderland.
Fuck Sunderland. Okay. Kind of wraps it up very well. There was a Argentina tour in India.
I sent you so many videos
set up by some really kind of shady promoters. And you don't expect Messi to play a lot, right? But you expect to see him. And he did his part. He went out on the pitch. He played his few minutes. He did his thing. Came off the pitch pretty quickly, but did a little, right? The end of the match, he ultimately gets surrounded by all the politicians and celebrities in India who want to get their pictures and autographs with him and are completely engulfed around him. So the fans in the stands can't see him. The fans in the stand can't applaud him. They can't enjoy the reason why they paid exuberant is the term that was used, because the promoters went, oh, Messi, we're going to charge you all like fucking Super Bowl tickets for these, you know, and obviously there's a different inflection of pay structure and ticket structure, but let's just say we'll give a general American number. It was something like $500 starting to go see Messi.
Okay.
And that's what you got.
Yeah.
His 10 minutes on the pitch, which fine, you knew that's what you were going to get, but you got to see it, right? And he did the Messi show, and everybody on the pitch got what it was. But then at the end, for him to be surrounded by all the super wealthy people, also a bunch of those people in that crowd are the ones that just made all the money off of you. They went fucking ape shit and proceeded to destroy the fucking stadium.
Oh, damn.
Out the seats, throwing them into the fucking into the field. I mean, they went bonkers.
Rage against the machine.
Yeah.
The cunt isn't the fans.
I'm not mad at the fans.
No.
You know what? Make those promoters have to pay for a fucking rebuild of a stadium.
Oh, my God.
Like, just if we all like
Firefest in real action.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So
we all know when our clubs come over to the States, we're going to pay more than we should. We know that, right? But we get access to practices with our fan clubs, and we get to those players are in bars the night before for fan forums. There's things you have an opportunity to meet your heroes for the lesser, for a bad description, but the way to say it, right? You get to meet those players you idolize, you love, you root for every week. Get a few autographs, get a few pictures, but you get to do that. This was that, except for they went, fuck you, 5 minutes, and that's all you get. You get 5 minutes for $500 and you can fuck completely off and you get nothing else. And I don't blame them one bit for losing their fucking minds and destroying that fucking stadium. And that ownership group was getting paid handsomely to have that match there. And they're going to need to, go after the fucking promoters and take money out of their pocket and
Apparently,
make sure they lose out.
Iceland had a stadium burn over relegation.
Saw that. A team that got relegated. Yeah. There's
a lot of cunts this week. Sharbilly goes, how about $3,000 for a World Cup final ticket?
Yep. That is something we're figuring out right now, is like the United States supporter groups being overly charged for World Cup matches, when the whole point of the Outlaws and the Sammers and all of those groups is it's a large group rate and you make the tickets a little bit cheaper for that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, we're jacking it up for those groups because you all want to sit together. We're considering it a group like ticket sale. Like not a, hey, this is a group that's coming like
a hospitality instead of a volume. Like, yeah.
And it's not
sounds about right.
Throwing a little bit of shade back towards your ownership group when everybody's talking about the ticket pricing in our buddy Mark Englishman, who's a Spurs supporter, loves to piss on the Yanks, even though he lives in this country and whatever. So loves to piss on the Yanks on a regular, and he's yelling and screaming about the ticket pricing, and it's like, it ain't all the U.S. asshole.
Yeah.
Who owns all the ticket agencies?
Yeah.
The PIF. The PIF owns all of it. And FIFA is corrupt. We saw as they gave Fearless Leader his peace prize because no one else would give him a peace prize.
Yeah.
Your boys in the PIF Posse 2030. Guess who's winning that FIFA Peace Prize, my friend? Yeah. When it's hosted in Saudi, you know who's getting it.
Yeah.
The prince himself is getting that one.
He's gonna accept it with Khashoggi's fucking hand. Like you're just gonna be like, Jesus Christ, these people. But nah, man, like you're right. FIFA didn't give a fuck. You knew what they were doing. They were like, man, the last time we had it in America was the 90s. Watch how much we can charge for all this shit over in this capitalist hellscape.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's go.
And the problem is we may say, hey, I'm not gonna go. There will be an asshole who will. Those stadiums will be full. All of those tickets will be sold. So it sucks. It sucks. And until a greater system change happens, that's going to be what it is. Oh, next up is DU Does EFL, where we're going to do a little brief recap of the English Football League. And then after that, we do Injury Time. Injury Time's where we talk about the beers we've been drinking, check in on our fantasy teams. As spoiler alert, someone across the way there is first place in his division. And we also preview the weekend's action. Producer Mel, should somebody want to support the show, how do they go about doing that?
Well, you could waste your time and go ahead and type in patreon.com/DU Football Show, or just click on the link right here, wherever you found the show at.
Very good. Till next week, everybody.